Hey there, welcome back to Upside Plants. Today, my name is Courtney, and today we are going to be doing some repotting. Okay, so I have been repotting a lot because I'm going from summer transitioning into fall, winter, and a lot of my plants are just outgrowing the pots that they're in, or I want to switch up the methods that I'm using to grow them, and that's what we're going to get into in today's video. So I'm repotting 4 different plants. So I'll show you a before and then I'll do a comparison to like side by side after. So I have the global green pothos. Honestly, not a big fan of this plant. I find it to be extremely temperamental. I don't think most pothos are in my experience, but this one, it just dries out really quick. I've never repotted it and I don't like the combination that I have it in, so I'm going to be repotting it with fresh soil into a different nursery container and into a different pot. I got this at Target, I think this summer, and then I have these orchid pots. I love using these for pretty much anything. I love using orchid pots. They're really great for leca as well. And then I'm going to be repotting my Florida Ghost. Now this is a cutting that I got last year. And honestly, all of my other Florida Ghosts have grown very significantly, very quickly, but this one has just not been growing as well. So I want to give it brand new soil because the soil that it's in is an old type of soil that I don't use anymore because it sucks. And I honestly just stuck this stake in, so it's not done well. So I'm actually going to be putting this in a smaller nursery pot, and I'm going to be putting it back in its original pot. So this pot is a lot smaller than that one, and then it'll just sit in this pot. And then I got this from IKEA. It does not have a hole in the bottom. And then I am going to be repotting, well, not repotting, but I have a ton of Rephidophora tetrasperma, that's a mouthful, cuttings that have just become gangly and weird, and all of their roots are at the bottom because when I did chop this plant, I really didn't maintain the water levels well, so all of the nodes are kind of just like dry and funky. So I'm going to chop at the node that's right below all of this growth for all of these cuttings, and then I'm going to put them in a leca and moss mixture to basically repropagate them. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is repot 2 philodendron giganteums that I have into one pot with a moss pole. Hopefully I made this gigantic moss pole, but I want to put them in a small pot together. So I really haven't looked at the roots since I bought the plants and separated them, which was so long ago. So I'm hoping that I can kind of do this and make it really compact, because I think that's going to be the best method, especially because the moss pole is so big and it's a little bit heavy, and I'm going to be putting it into a ceramic pot that I just picked up from IKEA. So let's get right into repotting. I think I'm going to go with the Florida Ghost first. I think this will be the easiest thing to do, and I'm also going to, after I repot all of them, I'm going to put some systemic in these 2 because I'm keeping them in soil, but I'm also going to spray them down with my pest control mix, which is in my shower where I usually do my treatment. So I'm going to do that after I finish the video, but I'll show you on the screen what I use for systemic and what I use for pest control right here on the screen. It'll be right here, right here. Okay, so these sticks are just like little wood sticks. I actually got this from one of my classes, one of my art classes that I took last year. My professor let me have a bunch of wood because I asked for it, and it was like a class where we had to use all these tools and stuff. So yeah, I want this to get really big. Like, I can see that it wants to grow, and I just have been neglecting it. And honestly, this soil mixture is so drying. Like, the soil that I use now is Fox Farm soil, and I love that soil. I think it's an amazing mix, but a lot of my plants that I've had for a while, they don't have the Fox Farm soil. So I feel like over the next couple of months, any plant that I have in soil that I want to keep in soil is going to be into getting repotted into the Fox Farm soil mix. I think it's the Ocean Forest. potted, is that what it is? Forest mix. I'll put it on the screen. The bag is over there. But I really love that mix. I think it's really fantastic and probably one of the best ones that I've used, and I have used a lot of soil mixes, okay? I got my first plant in 2016, so it's been 6 years. So I have used a lot of soil mixes, and I really like the Fox Farm soil. I think it has everything that you need, and it's just really easy. And the bag that I got was huge. I got it off Amazon, and the bag was huge, and I've had it for so long. Why is there a car rolling up? Who is that? Anyways, so I'm gonna dump this soil into the trash. I'm not really a big fan of reusing soil if I want to completely change the mix. I just don't think it's the best option for the plant. I think the plant remains better for smaller repots like this. If I was doing a big repot, I probably wouldn't mind as much, but for something this small, and I have had pests with this plant in the past, but for something this small, I'm just gonna completely change the soil. Here is an up close shot of the roots. They're very long, a little bit dry, but very long, and this is the plant. Using my fertilizer mix, I literally can't remember the name. Oh my gosh, what is it called? It's the three liquids. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Why can't I remember what it is? Oh my gosh, I don't remember what it is, but I use this for all of my plants, like a soil, moss, whatever it is. I use this for all of them, and I'll put it on the screen. Oh my gosh, it's wet. Why is it wet? Is it leaking? Oh my god. Letting that water soak in. We're gonna put that off to the side, and now we're gonna do the global grain, the crusty dusty global grain. Oh god, look at this thing. You see this thing? It's so crusty. I'm scared. I'm really, actually, before I even do that, I'm really not even trying to like rip it apart. I really want to make sure that the whole plant stays together, the root ball stays together. So I'm gonna try to be as careful as possible about that. So this is kind of like the example that I was talking about earlier when I said when I have smaller plants, I don't mind like taking it apart, like basically expressing the roots, like releasing the roots. But this plant is one that I'm not gonna do it, even though it is a smaller type of plant, just because of the way that it grows. I just don't think it would be worth my time to try to take all of that soil off, reconfigure the plant. I don't want to do all that because this plant gives me a headache anyways. So we're gonna, this is what I was looking for. We're gonna get our soil ready. Ugh. If you don't have these, get these. Notice how I was using that big jug earlier? It's actually very annoying to use that, but it's the best unit of measurement for me to make my fertilizer mix. But I really prefer to water things with this. I got these on Amazon. They're like, it'll be linked in my description, but I like watering with this. I have 2 of these, or I like using just a watering can, which I got from IKEA. I just think it makes it so much easier to water plants and soil, or your propagations, or literally anything. This is what we're working with. I might actually have to, I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can shove it in here. I'm done now, but I think I might try to, if I can, it's kind of
bald, like really bald right now.
I might try to clip the plant in to make it more full, and hopefully they'll be able to grow prosperous from there. But I think I'm gonna water it first before I do that, so I can make sure I get in all these little nooks and crannies. What I'm doing is I'm gonna take this long piece. I'm basically gonna sling it under the rest of this stuff and stick this around the edge, and then the top piece will come out on top, if that makes sense. So this piece that I just slung around, it's not really going to be attached to anything, but I don't really care about that piece because it's bald anyways. I really just want to make the plant more full. Ooh, I hope that wasn't a snap. So I'm gonna leave this in the catch tray and let it kind of soak up its water. You know what, actually though? No, this doesn't have a hole in the bottom. Or this does have a hole in the bottom, so I'm not gonna sit it in this container while it's you know, getting hydrated. We're just gonna actually I'm gonna put it on the floor, and then we're gonna get into the Repotted tetrasperma propagation. Okay, so Repotted tetrasperma cuttings that I neglected very much so. I want to basically just propagate them, so I'm going to use a clean pair of shears, and I'm going to cut right below the node that's closest to where all the growth is, basically at the top. So I kind of have to pull them out to see, and I'll show you what I mean. Like, see how long this piece is? But I let it dry out too many times and the nodes are just crusty dusty and busted. I'm going to chop right here, and there we have a new piece that we will be propagating. And I'm just gonna throw this away. I'm not even gonna play with this stuff. Ooh, okay. So this leaf is yellow. I'm not even about to worry about that. This one's kind of okay. So this one might be, I think that's gonna be, I actually might cut this again right where the curve is. Or should I keep it? You know what? I'll keep it, and then I'll stick one of my little plastic stakes in it, and we'll get it together. And then just this piece, which is from a piece that I cut off, which is hilarious. So we're just gonna, actually I'm gonna cut right here. Okay, so there we have our 3 pieces. This stuff I'm gonna throw in the trash. So I'm actually gonna do a couple of layers of leca with perlite and then moss with perlite, because I've really been liking using this method for growing my plants. I think it helps me a lot with retaining moisture, which is something that I run into a lot because I'm an underwaterer. So if you're somebody who underwaters your plants, you just forget about them, methods with leca or moss, or basically a way for you to even just see where the water levels are, is gonna help you a lot. I know it's helped me a lot. So I'm gonna get that mixture ready. These are just 2 plastic cups from the grocery store, and then I actually have a wood burner that I make holes in. But all of these containers, I did this all months ago, so every time a plant outgrows all of this stuff, I'm just able to reuse them. Perlite, moss. I think that should be enough. And then a little bit of perlite. And I'm kind of just gonna go shake, 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 shake. Yeah, that should be good. I'm actually going to put that stake in the middle so that I can have it growing up both sides, if I can find one. nightmare. Time for a break. Now it's time to repot this. Honestly, I don't know if this is gonna work out. I don't know if it's a good idea putting it in this container. You know, I don't know. And I have this behemoth of a moss pole that is literally, oh my God. This is the moss pole that I made. It's a behemoth. Okay, I really don't know if this is even going to work out. And I may have to not do this today, to be honest with you. This isn't gonna work. Girl, this is not gonna work. I found a solution. Okay, so I have this nursery pot I found in my garage. That is massive, which is like low-key kind of like, I'm gonna have to buy like a nice ceramic pot to put it in, because I really don't like my plants just kind of being naked, especially if they're gonna be like on the floor. So, and I don't think I have any, like a watering tray. That's not gonna fit. That's not really gonna fit logically. So yeah, but you know what though, low key, maybe I'll trade in that other IKEA pot, since now I'm like, I don't even know. I was getting that one IKEA pot to put these two in because I was kind of hoping it would fit, but now I'm like, I don't really want to do that. So maybe I'll trade that one in for a bigger pot. So yeah, I might do that. But anyways, we're gonna have to water this, and I need to put something under this while I'm putting in the soil. So I'm looking for just like one of my little lids. I am gonna use the moss pole, you know, now that we know that we can. Now it's gonna work out. So I'm gonna grab that. I need to grab my soil. This space is just, you know, it's not giving. But I'm gonna grab my soil and then get the moss pole, and I'm gonna stick the moss pole at the bottom, fill it up, put this in, attach everything, and hopefully we have something cute. And I can get a cute container, which I'll probably literally do tomorrow. This is gonna be annoying watering because it's just gonna flow everywhere, but we'll figure. Actually, I'm just gonna dump this. Don't make a mess, Courtney, don't make a mess. Okay. No, don't fall out that way. Shh. This is gonna be a nightmare. Right in the middle. This moss pole, I actually have a plastic stake in it. This isn't a self-watering moss pole. I'm gonna have to water it, but I put this stake in the middle so I could stabilize it. But now that I'm thinking about it, do I even need it if I'm going to basically be burying this? Because the reason I put this in was because I wanted to stabilize like a smaller plant, but it's like I don't even need to, really. Oh, it kind of helps with the form though. Ooh. Oh, I'm not gonna take it out. I'll keep it in. Oh, I messed up. It's okay. Okay. We'll keep it because it's gonna help with the form. Oh God. Okay, I want it to look this way. Well, actually, maybe I'll do it from the side because this is kind of. Well, where do I want the back to be? This is where we want it. I'm gonna have to connect my strips left of my Velcro thing to get this to be wrapped around because I cannot find my full length one. So I'm trying not to make any sudden moves so this thing doesn't cuss me out. But before we go in and connect it to this moss pole, I want to be safe because this plant is literally my freaking baby. Now I have to do it again with the other side. It's all done. And this process took a lot longer than I expected to, but that's just me being me. So what I'm going to do with this plant in particular, I'm going to get it a cover pot. I'll just get something cheap from IKEA, cheap and cute. IKEA has really good pots. If you have one near you, go to it. They have really good pots, glassware, lots of great stuff for your plants. So this moss pole, I said earlier in the video, I think that this isn't a self-watering moss pole. So basically what I'm going to do is just jam a water bottle at the top and let it flow, and that's what we're going to do. And I will show you the before and after of all of the plants that I repotted today. And that's it. I mean, I will be repotting and basically changing a lot of mediums over the next couple of months. I really want to watch my plants grow as big and beautiful as possible over the winter. I'm excited for the winter. I think it's a lot better for me personally because I'm an underwaterer and I tend to go a little bit longer without watering. So the winter time is good for me and it's good for my plants. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one.